What's good everyone, it's Zigzag here, welcome back to another GeoGuessr video and welcome to a very special one. So back in September of 2023, GeoWizard released this video where he got a 24,710 score on 10 seconds NMPZ on the world map. Now when I saw this, I thought it was a super impressive world record, but one that I should be able to beat relatively quickly. So I got to work and back in September, I released 3 videos in a row trying to go for this world record. Now that was actually the biggest week ever on the whole channel. All the videos were going huge at that point, but at the same time, I decided to end the series because I didn't want to be clickbaiting with GeoWizard's name in every single video title. And I'm pretty sure I also said at that point, or at least said to myself, that I'm only going to release another one if I actually beat the record. Now, before I get into the reason that that video never came out, let's watch GeoWizard's reaction to his world record.
How on earth... Okay, it was a good seed, but how on earth have I been trying to get 24,000 for probably an accumulative 15 hours? 16 if you count the session with Zigzag. Please tell me we're recording. Oh, thank God. I've never been so tense for an RW recording. I don't know about you. How have I added 710 points to that? That is, honestly, that might be one of the best scores ever done on the world map.
Okay, so basically, if you didn't catch that, he said he's been playing for about 15 or 16 hours to get this score, and it was his first ever 24,000. Well, guys, as you saw from the title, I have actually done over 30 hours of attempts on this world record. Bear in mind, this is over the last 4 months, and I've just done it when I've had a spare hour in an afternoon or something. I normally just listen to music and play, because I know it's going to be a banger video when I get the record, and yet, it's not come. That being said, I do have some absolutely insane attempts, and the crazy thing about it all is that GeoWizard's score was 24.7, but that was his first ever 24k, as he said. And I, inside this highlights reel that I've made, which we're going to react to together, have 10, easily 10, 15 plus 24,000 point games. And you know, it's obviously annoying that I didn't get the record yet, but in a way it's fitting that the GOAT, the original OG of GeoGuessr, keeps his record. And so what I would say is let's get into reacting to these games. We've got 18 minutes of goodness here, guys. You're gonna want to stick around for some of these guesses. And I'm just gonna give commentary. Obviously I won't be able to remember all these clips, so some of them will just be completely gone from my head. So I'll be guessing along, you guys can guess along as well. And then also, if this wasn't enough, if the 18 minutes wasn't enough, I also have in the description another whole bunch of outtakes of really cool games where I didn't quite get 24k, or which didn't quite make the cut in terms of quality, but which I didn't want to let go into the void. So you can also check out those ones. There's some freestyle rapping, there's some singing. I was trying to do everything I could to make it work, just like Tom did. But yeah, I say let's get into the clips here, and let's see how I was able to go on some of these clips. Because we're starting off with some bangers here. But let's get straight into the first clip here. So basically, I'm just gonna let it run and just talk through it. So Mexico City is always a great one to guess. The world map, you know, tends to have a lot of capital cities, so you'll see me clicking on bigger towns or capital cities quite a lot here. Here we have a blue fire hydrant, which is something that's really common in Croatia, and it looks kind of like Serbia, so I click out here and I get the right town, which is obviously the biggest city out there, but still a really nice guess. And the other thing to know, I'm just going to pause a few times at the start here, but the other thing to know about the world map is that there is so much USA, and that is what kills like 90 or 80% of runs, because you just get these random rounds. The US ones are barely ever freebies, whereas in other countries, you're almost always in the capital city or something. So anyway, the world map is a flawed map, but this is still a nice guess, I think. We have a rock wall, and yeah, we basically get the right region there, dropping not too many points. Next one here, those long dashes on the outside, French style, so you're in Tunisia, near Sfax, and it was. And the last one of the seed is just going to be Buenos Aires, which also shows up a lot. And there we go, 24.3. So yeah, I mean, we're going to see more of these 24s, I can tell you that. But that was a really nice game. No complaints about that one, honestly. I think the guesses were all really nice. It was the US one where we dropped 200 points. But we would have had to have been closer on Tunisia and US or something like that in order to get the world record. Obviously, the scoring on the world map is also pretty harsh. But okay, through to the next game here. Let's see what happens in this one. I really don't remember. This is like a very rural and tough round. That was good Slovenia pickup there. Next one here. These kind of circular reflectors on the road do show up quite a lot on the West Coast and also in Hawaii. And it was Washington there. Really nice guess. It's also a place that shows up quite a lot. Here we had like just Balinesian shrines everywhere, so Bali's always going to be free. We had New York plates here. So we're actually on stunning pace here, I'm noticing. I think at this stage we have world record pace. So we just need to click the right city. We need to be pretty close within the right city as well to beat Tom's score. And we'll see what happens. So obviously, just like him, we're clicking Moscow. I'm pretty sure. I just throw my hands up in resignation there, click Moscow, and it ends up being in Czechoslovakia. So no can do there, 23,000 points. Let's see what happens in the next one here. So low cam, that's happens in Switzerland in Europe. And where do I go for Lucerne here? I remember this one's a crazy one. This one is like one of those ones that could have been the world record, but I start off really badly there, clicking in the wrong town and losing 200 points. Next one here, we have the pink taxi, which is something you see in CDMX, capital of Mexico. Next one here, it's very hilly, but just so often Seoul shows up on the world map that I decided to go Seoul anyway. Even though I'd associate that kind of hilliness with more southern cities, it worked out. Next one here, USA of some description. And I don't know how I got US. There must have been like a New York plate or something there. And the final one here. We also can get world record here. We have 9 points to spare. We have to plonk very nicely on a pretty difficult Netherlands. It's out in the middle of nowhere. We'd pretty much have to be as lucky as possible. We'd have to click the exact road here. And I opt for here, and it was a little bit further north. So we get 24,500. Now the thing is, all we had to do was click a little bit further west on the Switzerland, and it was world record, because that was a 200-point loss there. So yeah, pretty crazy seed. Obviously, relatively straightforward as well, but still, you know, you just have to take the opportunities when they come, and I didn't there, so that was unfortunate. Next one here, we're starting off with, what, a US? I guess, yeah, I thought it might be Canada, but there's always going to be US on this map, and wow, actually plonking the right city there was pretty nice, especially, dancing. I'm pretty sure there is audio, but we're not going to turn it on. Alright, next one here, I didn't even catch it, but should just be Netherlands, I guess, yep. Again, plonking the wrong town, but not bad. Next one here, Australia. Tends to be a place I like to see show up, but this is a fairly difficult round, and there I am still dancing. Oh yeah, outside Geelong. Yeah. Okay, so that's a real... I feel like a lot of people are missing that round, to be honest. So that's definitely... You do see that the world map, it does have a lot of hard rounds as well. It's not just easy ones. It's just that when you get a world record, you pretty much need it to be all easy ones in order to get consistently 5 in a row. You know what I mean? Okay, next one here. And are we in Ghana? That's one. Oh, no, I think Kenya, actually. So where do I go here? Because we're on a really good score. We're still on world record pace. And it was Kenya. Wow. I had the same first thought there. So that is... I think this one ends really well as well. I think they get the town here. So it's just an unfortunate country miss. Was this LA or something? Yeah. So there we go. I mean, another really nice one, or even the right plonk in the right suburb. And there we go, 20k points. Okay, we're back in, and I'm still singing, still rapping, apparently. Where's this? I mean, I feel like it might have been Paris. Was it Paris? So Paris and London are the two cities that show up the most on the world map. I think the world map, here's my theory, it kind of just takes places that people have heard of and spams them. So LA, Paris, Tokyo, you know, all of the major cities of the world cities, it just spams them. And then there's a bunch of random stuff in the US. So that's kind of how it's generated. But there we go, was Paris. Next one here. This is what I mean. Oh, but we had road names there. So 33 and 130 in Illinois. And I immediately thought it was South vibes here. So I'm looking for those road names. Man, if I could have found them... Think about this. This one's on the really good score video, and we dropped 500 points here. Okay, next one here, easy Ulaanbaatar. That's just like, that's the only place in Mongolia that can look like that. Next one here, London. I mean, it just has kind of South vibes, so London works. And the next one here is going to be New Delhi, I think. Yeah, because we have some Hindi, and Hindi on the world map tends to only show up in New Delhi, which is just a quirk of the world map. It's a terrible map, so you get different interesting quirks like that, but of course it ends up being New Delhi. And so, oh man, this one's painful. We could have had the greatest score of all time. We had Delhi, Ulaanbaatar, India, like Paris, and London, and then we had the signs. If we had an extra 10 seconds, I would have got it, or maybe, but, you know, that is the way it goes. So, there we go. Still a great score. 24.3 in 8 is really nice, but could have been so much more. And once again, we're back in Paris. Paris has very distinct architecture in the suburbs, once you can recognize it. Next one here, going to be somewhere out in the panhandle of Argentina, I'd say. That pavement that we see here is really common on either side of the border, and it ends up being in Panhandle. Just the wrong side clicking there, unfortunately. White car long antenna here is interesting. Trying to figure out where this was, because I don't know if I would be able to get it, even if I look for a while here. Maybe it was like Vilnius or something like that. Let's see where it actually was. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. We had tons of random blurs there. That's a really nice 10-second guess, though. I don't want to toot my own horn too much, but yeah. Okay, next one here, gonna be Argentina. Ooh, is it really Rio Gallegos? Oh, no. It actually is. Wow, okay. This was actually a really skill game. I'm pretty happy with how this one looks. And was this London? I think it was further north, maybe. No, I guess London. Or was it actually? Oh yeah, it was further north. Okay, so there we go. 24,000 just, but in terms of the rounds that we had, two difficult Argentinas and a Vilnius. So I think that's actually warranting. That's a pretty impressive 24k. You could say it's more impressive than GeoWizard's one, but he got 600 more points, which, you know, is no mean feat. Okay, next one here. We're over in Austria. Vienna is another city that shows up so much. That's the classic. They actually altered the world map to have less Vienna, and it still is like the 5th most common city on the whole map, which is... I don't know what the devs are doing on this one, bro, but I'm just happy we don't have to play it on comp anymore. Next one here. Is this like Ecuador or Colombia? I guess we have the black card with stubby antenna, so that should be Colombian then. Rarely shows up elsewhere. And Bogota is, again, another city that shows up quite a lot. I have to say, guys, a lot of the really impressive guesses here, some of the really impressive guesses, I'll say, are just clicking where it's most common. Others are actually nice guesses. Let's see if I can do one here. But yeah, a lot of it is just like, oh, well, it's Britain, and so we're going to click London and hope. But okay, is this actually going to be correct? Yeah, that was a nice guess. Not the best. We still dropped 300 points. Next one here, I guess this should be somewhere in Hawaii, the way it looks. Kind of volcanic soil. And the big island, yeah, this island here, the island of Hawaii, tends to be where you get the most volcanic soil. And this definitely looks like it's going to be somewhere in Vienna. I've seen enough of Vienna to think that we're there. And it's actually... Nope, never mind. Okay. It does say .pl there, so yeah. I guess Poland was... Okay, well, I look silly now. But still, it was a 24,000 point game. Not an easy seed as well, I would like to say. Okay, next one here. And we got the different hairstyle. Okay. I think I just got back from the World Cup. I was experimenting a bit here. Outside of Mexico City, really nice guess. Okay. Still dropping too many points. I actually reset there. Okay. Never mind. Okay. Locking in. Here we have some red roads. Oh, another reset. Now you guys are getting to see how the sausage is made. I accidentally didn't edit this out, apparently. Okay, here we go. Mexico City. We got a Mexican flag there, and it's very populated. So on this map, just go Mexico City. And we're correct. Why am I smiling so much, man? I must be listening to something funny. Anyway, next one here. Oh, yeah. I knew that. Oh, 6 kilometers away. That's a proper insane one. That region, it's just very distinctive. I think all pro players tend to get this right. I don't know what about it is, but there's a lot of Generation 2 old coverage there, and something about the way the hills look is very distinctive. So, yeah. But that's a pretty crazy one. 7 kilometers. Next one here, we have Portuguese pavement, like these little squares here. So is this Lisbon? I mean, Portugal does not show up much on the map. And it is outside Lisbon. Okay, so not a terrible score, but we're losing a bit too much there. And second last one, Taiwan, just click middle. And it's going to be pretty close there. That's enough points, but unfortunately Portugal wasn't. And the last one here, UK. Definitely gives me UK vibes. And another country that doesn't show up is Ireland, so you pretty much just click UK if it looks like this. And it was just in the south there. So another 24k. As you can see, guys, we're racking up the 24ks here. We truly are. It's actually crazy how many I got. And with no just proper easy seed. I don't think there's any seed in here where I'm like, that was the one where I just fumbled. Like, I don't think I've had that GeoWizard seed yet with double the time. But maybe I'm coping. Anyway, next one here looks like Sydney to me, or is it Perth? It's one of the two. I think it's actually Perth, okay. The curbs here are kind of flat instead of being 90-degree angles. So, yep, that was just pretty much downtown. Good score. Obviously, it's a pretty easy city to get most times. Next one here, is it Paris, is the question. Because I would say about 50% of French rounds are Paris, or a little bit less. So, you are hedging your bets, but you pretty much have to. Was this one actually Paris? I feel like someone was outside of Paris, maybe. And okay, it was a little bit further south, but still a good score. Next one here, double yellows. You have to remember, like, yeah, this clip is literally 3 months old. I have no idea what happens in it. Oh, is this Cape Cod architecture? Oh, I should have... Oh, man. It wasn't Cape Cod, but instead all the way at the end of Long Island. Interesting. Not a bad guess, I guess. Northeast vibes. And the last one here, let's see, normally I would just guess in Tokyo here, but I wonder, is it actually Tokyo? Because the other parts of Japan do show up. And, okay, it was outside Tokyo, and yeah, 23.977, still included that one because it was a pretty nice game. Next one here, Florida. I mean, it doesn't even look like Florida, but when you have like 3 palm trees here and it's dead flat, normally just Florida. And actually, like, Florida shows up a lot, and it's a place I got better at region guessing, so that's something that's been good from practicing here. Next one here, this is Paris, surely, yeah. Oh, and we do have French there as well, so that makes life nice and easy, and all the way downtown. Next one here. Do I actually pull a nice guess here? Ooh. Okay, I think this is one of the ones where you could say I kind of threw. Now, this is by no means an easy round, but I'm pretty sure this one gets really close to world record. I click Lombok, and then I click Bali, and it ends up being Lombok. Oh, I remember being so pissed about this. Then... because we were on a crazy score up to them, by the way. Then we go Seoul, it ends up being Southern Seoul. And then, I think I get the right Texan city here. We have a live oak, very common type of tree in Texas. And it's Houston, is it? Yes. Oh my gosh, man. 360, all we needed was the Lombok to turn out more. And it would have been world record, I think. Because we must have dropped at least 300 points there. Or maybe we actually needed to be closer on the career as well. But regardless, pretty crazy one. Oh no, we did drop 400 points there. So yeah, we all we needed to do was like nail it, but that's the way it goes. Next one here, we appear to be actually in Ireland, which is quite the rarity. And I go Limerick here. Does it say Limerick? I think it said Limerick on the sign. So yeah, 13 kilometers away. Next one here, we have Turkey. So let's see where this one ends up being. Definitely Western vibes, this kind of green coverage, and yeah, was nearby there. Good guess, but nothing crazy, so already puts us out of world record contention here. Montevideo is on the cards next here. And then we have, was this Trondheim? Yeah, Trondheim often looks like that. Kind of hard to describe why, but... And then this one, it definitely looks like Gisborne. I remember guessing Gisborne. I think it's wrong, though. Oh, it is right. Okay, so there we go, 24.2. Honestly, this was a skill seed. You know, we knew the place name in Ireland. We had a really nice Norway guess. The Turkey region guess was good. We knew the city in Uruguay, and we had a really nice region guess in New Zealand. And it ends up being a good 500 points below Tom's. So let's continue on here. I mean, are you guys seeing? Like, I had so many good games, man. All we needed was a good round 5, like a few times. But alas, you know, I mean, it's still a good collection of games, but still. Okay, next one here in the UK, driving left with the yellow rear plates, just hedging middle there, Peterborough. Surely not. I mean, where is this actually going to be? I'm not sure. It was further towards London there, in a small town. Next one here, Lesotho. Lesotho is one of those places every good GeoGuessr player knows, because you got the Bear Mountains. It looks very cold, high altitude, but at the same time, uniquely African. And there we go, it's just in the center there. Next one here, we got Indian camera. And I was zooming north, but yeah, this should be south indeed. I go around Bengaluru, and it was nearby there. And the last one here is going to be somewhere in Ecuador, east of Andes somewhere. And wow, that's why I included this one. That was very close indeed. And we scrape in with a 24k, despite getting the complete wrong region guess in the UK. So, again, like, man, not an easy seed by any stretch. Not an easy seed to get 24k. Now, talk about an easy start. Here we are, and we can't actually see it, but we're right next to the Statue of Liberty, and I have the cognizance to realize that, because it does look like New York City in the background there. And I forgot where it was, but yeah, we click close enough. That's going to be a pretty much perfect score. Next one here, I mean, whenever it looks like this is just Buenos Aires, like Buenos Aires kind of has European vibes, but then you can see these like kind of South American style houses with the number plates. Always going to get that right. So we're off to a flyer here. Okay, here's another traumatic one, man. This one should have been the world record. This one actually should have been the world record. So let me break down this one. We have the orange number plate on the bus. You would see that in Chile and Ecuador, mostly. And then with the single yellow line in the center, that should be Ecuador. Then we have like oil palms. We have a lot of normal palms as well. Feels very kind of tropical, rainforesty, so I opt for east of the Andes, and I hedge it. Look where I'm clicking here, guys. I click in the mountains. Oh, it's so cringe. With 1 second to go, I click in the mountains, when clearly I should have just gone out here. This would be the obvious play to do, because it's flat, slight rolling hill. That's what you'd see here. Here I'm literally clicking in like 2,000 meter tall mountains. I leave it there to hedge it, I guess, and it ends up being out there. We dropped 400 points there, man. We're pretty close. We dropped 400 points. Now look how the rest of the seed goes. I don't actually remember. I just remember it's good. Okay, so we're on a crazy score up to that point. Then we get a Vienna. Is this over the river? This kind of feels like over the river, yeah. And then the last one here is UK, and I'm pretty sure I plonk it correctly. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I got not too far. Manchester? Was it Manchester area? Yeah, not too far. And there we go, 24.396, and we dropped 400 plus points on the Ecuador. So obviously that would have been fine if we just region guessed properly. Tragic. Honestly, that one was the one, and I knew it. You can see in my... You can't really see in my face that I'm that disappointed, but I was very disappointed, okay? Oh, I remember I 5K'd this. I'm gonna let the thing play. I have no idea how I got this correct. Even getting the country here is kind of difficult. And I go Playa del Carmen. It ends up being 1 kilometer away. Wowie. I was pretty hyped about that. And I'm pretty sure I nailed this one too. Okay, we have, this is a little interesting tidbit here. We have a church here, and we have a cross at the top there. It's very common in some parts of Indonesia and very uncommon in most, so helps to narrow it down. I go for North Sumatra, a Christian region here, and ends up being very close there. I mean, 43 kilometers away in Indonesia on the world map, you're always going to take that. Next one here. Oh, this is when I start to know that things were going to heat up a bit, because this was a pretty easy Paris, and definitely downtown with the vibes. And next one here, we have another France. We got the blue sticker on the pole, something you often see in France, definitely so. And let's see where this ends up being. I guess south here. I guess very south, and ends up being south but near Bordeaux. We did even have vineyards, but it was just a bit too hilly, so, And the last one here, we see a castle in the background there, and I think I've been to that castle. That's the Osaka castle. So I go down here, look to the east, so I guess to the west of it, and it ends up being the Nagoya castle. So apparently they look very similar. Not really surprised, but I didn't go to Nagoya. And there we go, 23.7. Definitely with a better France and a better Japan, which I always would have failed. So that was never really going to be the record, but, kind of an interesting one. Okay, next one here. Ooh, where is this? I think this was Moscow, yeah. Moscow tends to... You get to a lot, like, inside parks in Moscow. Next one here. We're parked on the right-hand side with these big American bins, but it looks like Perth or somewhere in Australia, so that normally just means LA. And I guess it is because I'm going to guess there. Yeah, I mean, it should be LA here. That's what it looks like to me. And it is. What are we going to get next here? Okay, we have Japanese everywhere. I mean, when it's random Japan, you're obligated on world map. Obligated to go Tokyo. Do I go Tokyo? I do. Is it downtown? It is. Very nice. 3 points there, basically. Next one here. Is it Bolivia, actually? Or what? What am I looking at? Or is it Arge? Yeah, Arge. Oh, Corrientes I go for here. Wow, is this correct? Wowee! Well, it's actually Corrientes there. Couldn't even remember watching back, but I made a pretty crazy guess there. Again, Argentina, not an easy country. Not easy to get those ones right, but that was a nice effort there. Next one here. We're in India. We have Northern language. We have some Hindi, and so I go for New Delhi here. We're on. Oh, by the way, we're on world record pace here. I think I have it. At this point, I think I have it. Look, I'm 100 points ahead of GeoWizard, and it's Delhi. You're not going to drop more than 100 points on Delhi. I hedge for everything. At the same time, there are those times where the world map throws up something crazy. So on India, you normally only get Ahmedabad in Gujarat, the southern city and the surrounding area around Bangalore, and then New Delhi. But look where this is. This is actually a crazy coincidence that on a round 5 where we actually had world record pace, it ends up being something random east. There's no reason for that, man. I can tell you, like, this just shocked me. Like, because I was so used to clicking Delhi always. And there it is. And I was just looking at the screen sadly. Yep, and then finally lamenting. Man, and that was a really nice game too. The Argentina guess was so good. And there I am talking probably not so nice words to the GeoGuessr developers there, maybe. But yeah, there I'm just talking about the different cities, I guess. Okay, starting back up again here. We're in Melbourne, the city where I was born. Definitely a place I recognize pretty well. And I opt for Central Eastern here, and it ends up being Central, Southern Eastern, Southeastern. Next one here, is this Nice or something? Kind of looks like Southern France to me. Oh, well, great minds think alike. Is it actually Nice, though? No, it's actually Marseille, so there we go. Next one here, again, we got the Lesotho vibes, which I was talking about. Pretty quick one. Oh, this is a nice little guess. So we see landscape in the distance and a city of some kind, and I thought that might be San Fran, and it ends up being correct, right near the Golden Gate Bridge, although I don't think we could see it. And the last one here, Bangladesh, opt for Dhaka, and it ends up being Dhaka. Clean 24k. We needed to get better on the France. Apart from that, yeah, it was gettable. Next one here, sometimes you get these famous places in the world map. That's obviously Venice. We're floating on a boat down an Italian village. Has to be. Next one here. Okay, again, we have these live oak trees, the Texan ones I was telling you about. Texas and Florida, they're two places I really improved at here. Now, looking back on it, where do I think this is? I think it might have been Austin. But my mark is closer to Antonio now, so we'll see. Or was it actually Austin here? Okay, yeah, well, I mean, it's easy when you're watching back, I guess, for a second time. This, by the look of my face, doesn't look like it was that long ago. Anyway, next one here, India. So, as I said, India is one of those places where you should be only in 3 cities, theoretically. And we have the yellow water tanks on the top of the buildings here, which should be Bangalore, because that's a southern Indian thing to do. And if I could look at the map, oh my gosh, I was looking at Africa with 2 seconds to go. And it ends up being nearby there. Next one here, just going to be UK. Going for Manchester here, actually was nearby. And the last one here, just going to be Russia. And I plonk in Tumen, and it was just over the border in Kurgan. So, again, 20 points away from getting that 24k, and we're back in. Okay, man. Do you see how many? I mean, like, count the 23.9 plus games so far is a lot. It's a lot, man. But yeah. Okay, next one here. This looks like Florida to me. So green and so flat. Can I region guess? I go Orlando here. Ends up being Tampa. Yeah, it happens. Next one here. What's it gonna be? Looks like Malaysia. I'm not too sure. I think Malaysia doesn't show up that commonly. I go for Ipoh. And ends up being in Georgetown. Fair enough. Next one here, we have a Brisbane pole top. So is this really going to be a 24k? This is kind of a mid-game. But yeah, I guess I just plonk everything out here. Yeah, 24k just. Yeah, 12 points in it. Yeah, just missed the Florida, so it was never going to be a crazy score. Next one here. Oh, this is a crazy guess. Okay. I picked the town somehow. Like, normally you just guess London on a round like that, and I somehow pick the town. It's Wolverton. And here I am in the game. I was saying, wasn't there like a straight line mission here? Now, I went back and looked over the GeoWizard videos, or I didn't think it was a straight line mission. I thought it was one of those ones where he would get dropped down by Verity, and he would have to figure out where he was. Now, I don't think there was actually ever a video here, but, you know, I thought there was, and so I went on about it, and I was like, getting excited, but yeah, I'm pretty sure it was just a false memory of some kind. But here we go, through to the next one here. We're back in India. We have the kind of tuk-tuk that you see in the north, and this was indeed Delhi. I mean, normally it is Delhi, which is the crazy thing about the one that ended so poorly for us before. Okay, next one here. Ooh, this is kind of a difficult round. Is it maybe like... Then this time around, I'm having like maybe Missouri vibes or something like that, Illinois vibes, based on the road quality. But let's see. Okay, I go Missouri here, and it ends up being Missouri. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. I mean, yeah, again, it's repeats, so I'm always gonna have a better vibe than the first time. This is obviously Russia. We have those Russian bloods on the intersection that they love to do so much, and I go Astrakhan here. And it ends up being Astrakhan, which is obviously really nice to get the right city on Russia. I was very pleased with myself at this point, even though we were out of contention. And I plunk in Portland, but then I decided, I think, to go for a more southern city. Yeah, this is a recent clip, and it ends up being Portland. So, there we go, 23.8. This was a really nice one. Obviously, plunking the UK correctly there, and there we have it. Yeah, I knew that was a recent one, and there we have it. That is it for the video. So now you have to go down to the description, check out the video of bloopers and stuff. Some of them are slightly embarrassing, but hopefully there's nothing too bad in there. And yeah, that is it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. And do let me know what you thought of it, because there's always the chance that I could just go ahead and try and beat this record again. Although I think 30 hours might be time to hang up the good old hat and say, GeoWizard, you can have this one. Though I said that last time and I still practiced for 30 hours. So let me know what you think in the comments, guys, if you want to see me actually beat it. Because it would be a great title, no doubt. Yeah, fun video. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys next time. Catch you later, guys, and goodbye.